Hey, good morning everybody. Slight detour here from your regularly scheduled farming content on Wagner Farms. Up in southwest Minnesota today with a good friend of mine. We're about to feed a load of cattle, and he has entrusted me to run the skid loader here to fill up. We got an iPad here with a scale on it. We are going to be filling up his feed wagon to feed 1 yard of cattle. He's going to get his drone up in the air, so he's got proof that I am doing something, and I got this too. So you guys would come along for us today, show you a little bit about their operation, and just passing through on my way to see my brother. And we got rain, but I think at home they're gonna get going this afternoon. Maybe do 40 acres, 80 acres, something like that. Got about 400 of corn left and about 160 of beans for custom work to do for some neighbors. So we're gonna get after it here. Cracked corn, rolled corn, whatever you want to call it. That's our final ingredient for the mix. Not bad, I guess. I'm not one to, or I guess I'm not the one to make the call. Eon, are you kidding me? I'm a natural.
Set my world on fire. It's all down. I'm watching flames get higher.
You can't sing that popular stuff, we'll get copyrighted.
You're not filming it right now, are you?
Oh yeah.
Don't put that on that video. Dang it, don't record it.
We're gonna cut that out.
You're gonna beep that?
Yeah.
So, how was your first time loading feed?
I guess you're the one to judge. Did I do okay?
Yeah, I think honestly you did pretty good. It's definitely a new system for you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're used to foot pedals and that's an H pattern. So
yeah.
It's something a little bit different, but all in all you hit your numbers pretty close. You didn't spill a whole lot of feed, so I think that's the perks.
Well, feed's cheap right now. Corn's real cheap, so. No, this is my buddy Ryan. We went to college together. met through mutual friends and same classes and however you meet people at college. He's about an hour, 20, hour and a half north of me is where he's sitting. I'm up here in southwest Minnesota compared to northwest Iowa. You look around, not much of difference between the two. They're a little bit more rolling and a little bit wetter than we are.
And a lot more rocks.
And a lot more rocks too. We don't have rocks down in northwest Iowa. We are thinking about back home getting in the field this afternoon. I don't know, it still looks pretty wet just from driving around a little bit this morning, but
yeah, we got about 1.5 inches of rain here just the other night, and before that we were so dry we absolutely had to get that rain. So the fact that the rain came in was an absolute blessing for the crops that are in the ground. Maybe this afternoon we'll be able to go up to some of our fields that are a little bit farther north where they got a little less water, but it'll probably be, I would say, tomorrow afternoon before we can really just go hard.
Sure. And if it's not blatantly obvious, they are cattle farmers, cattle feeders. Row crop, obviously, to support the feed of their cattle. And then how many hog operations you got, or how many hog facilities you guys have?
I just got one pig barn.
Okay.
It's a 2,400 head site. We feed about 2,000 head of cattle between our lots and the custom lots that we have. And then we got, you know, a good amount of land to go with it. And so we keep pretty busy up here in southwest Minnesota.
Yep. So we're no stranger to the hogs on our channel. Finisher, do you wean to finish, or how do you?
Yeah, so it's a 2,400 head wean to finish barn. And what I find the coolest about my barn is we don't sort pigs like you do in yours.
Yep.
I have a scale operation. So in order for the pigs to eat, they actually have to go through the scale. They get weighed as they kind of come through the scale, and they can get kicked to the side to go into a food court, or they go straight if they're heavy enough. And then they kind of go down to some sort pens down there where there's more feeders down on that end of the building.
Say the technology's great when it works. Yeah, we bust our backs sometimes loading pigs, sorting pigs like we do. I know Dad cusses out those sort pens, something fierce, but that's what we got.
With our pig barn, the one thing that I will say is you will have about 5% of your barn that will never go through the scale. So you do have to hand sort that 5%, which doesn't sound like a lot of pigs, but when your pen sizes are 1,200 head and you got to go try to find 5% of pigs, it's a little hairy kind of sorting things out.
Heads up. I don't know if you can see off in the distance there, but they got some nice windmills like we do around back home, so just like home. Watching a master at work. That is a really comfy buddy seat. Oh man. Good morning. That's the mix of feed we made and weighed out all those ingredients, mixed together. Got a Kuhn night. Kuhn parent company makes, or is with Kuhn Kraus. They make our Gladiator strip tail bar, so similar company. They got a Farm All 100C, and I think this is a relatively new tractor, but you couldn't tell by all the manure and mud on it. They work their tractors. This tractor gets worked every day on this thing. We only work ours planting, strip till, grain cart. That's about it. And they're in conditions, they got to feed the cows every day. Before, they got a lot of rocks up here. We'll get a rock picker over there. We've never had I'm the rock picker on our farm, and anything smaller than a fist. No, we don't get up for that.
You don't even have rocks that are bigger than a fist.
No, we don't. every once in a while we'll find a big one that gets uprooted through a shank on a strip till bar or mulch finishing, something just enough to let one loose that could cause havoc. But yeah,
it's not uncommon up here to have rocks that you need to bring the backhoe up here for.
Yeah, we got all those years ago, and we have them on display in Dad's front yard.
We had them then too.
Yeah. Although someday you can take comfort in the fact that you will have picked your last rock.
When I'm about 85 years old.
Exactly. Yes. Yep. Yep. This is the site we filled the wagon with. How many sites total of cattle do you guys have?
We have.
You said how many groups, but between how many locations?
So right now, currently, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now.
Okay.
Most of the year we only have 3 locations, but right now we do have 5. Cattle will be kind of going in and out of a couple different ones, smaller lots here and there that friends have that, you know, we might put some heifers in or something like that.
So I don't think you got the full scope from the skid loader cab there, but they keep their hay out there. They've got a silage pile right there. We came in here, got some rolled corn. They're modified DDGs, which is a byproduct of making ethanol, which you saw a couple videos ago. We hauled to the ethanol plant, and then they run a nice John Deere skid loader. Good to see some, at least the Deere logo, not green paint, but red guys, and then this protein that's very expensive. I think the last time I was here, this was so cold, this was all poor man's concrete, and now it's about 50 degrees this morning here, and I got a sweatshirt on and a nice jacket on top of that, so I'm comfortable.
I have personal insulation.
Yes.
And then I have a sweatshirt over top of that,
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good today too.
Yeah. I'm working on my personal insulation myself too.
Get married.
Yeah.
When the wife's a good cook, get back on the pounds.
I don't have that problem yet.
This is our calving barn here. We built this one, I think about 3 years ago. So we use this for a show barn in the summertime. We use this for a calving barn in the wintertime. We're kind of in the middle of transitioning in between kind of a weaning barn right now. Not weaning, kind of a creep barn right now. So as you can see over here, we got our creep bunk for the little calves to eat out of. And the calves have a nice little area to come lay in here. Mom can't get into the pen because of that gate over there, but baby sure can be comfortable in here during the day.
Absolutely. It's about this time growing up, we got calves every year for the fair, and that's about our only experience with cattle on the farm, just for the local county fair. Grandpa fed cattle in the 80s, and getting into hogs saved the farm.
In about 2 weeks here, we'll be running cattle through that chute right over there. It'll be AI season. We'll be putting cedars in about 2 weeks, and then 7 days after that, we'll pull the cedar, and 66 hours after that, we'll be AI in our cows, and we'll hopefully have some new calves on the ground coming next February.
You had some pretty good acronyms there, Ryan. Artificial intelligence and cedar. AI. What?
AI is artificially inseminate,
Yep.
and cedars is it's basically a false hormone that you put in. So you put that in with a shot, and it'll bring your cows into heat, and then we're able to actually have the cows all kind of calve around the same time. So our calving window this year, if you take out the 2 outliers that we had, one was really early and one didn't stick AI, but our whole calving window, we were done in 5 days.
Control internal drug release, is that what
It is.
I remember my animal science classes. We got Cupid looking at us.
We named him Cupid because his due date was on February 1st this year. Didn't calve until February 14th, so he came out a lot bigger than what he was supposed to, and it was a very, very, very hard pull. It was hard on both mama and baby, so they were in a pen that was kind of a doctoring pen for about a week or so there. But he seems to be doing good. He bounced back good, and mama's just laying over there.
Can you rattle off the names, all these named calves, or are they?
Yeah, so number 1 is Petey, number 2 is Cupid, number 3 is 03, 4 is 04, and so on down the
All right, yeah.
So the naming gets kind of, the first one's always exciting. The second one, is right in there. And then if there's a baby that comes that has a special you know, tie to something that we're doing, then we'll name them. But you know, the first one you always got to name, and then down the line you just kind of forget.
Yep.
As calving season gets busy.
Yeah, I think I know my first calf was, her name was Susie, and then I had Betty. When I first started getting calves as a kid, 4th grade, I was dirt cheap to get calves, and we got, I think, 6 or 7 of them. And Susie and Betty, and Susie went to the county fair, and Betty became burgers, so we had Betty burgers for about a year.
Yeah.
Just went up the road a ways, picked up a bag of grass seed for the neighbor. And then Ryan's kind of showing me around the area, a little bit familiar. We're up by a lake here. We'd come as kids, and a high school friend of mine's got a cabin on that lake, so been up a couple times. Just kind of going around looking at the different sites, and the sites where they got stuff, and by some of the fields, some of their first corn's popped up out of the ground. I was in a field of beans yesterday. They're poking out of the ground finally, which is maybe not a great thing because it's still kind of chilly. But from everything we've heard, the data shows that early planted beans pay, and we've seen that in our fields last year. We had about 7-8 bushel advantage on our early planted beans compared to our later ones. Walking out on one of their farms here that they're looking to plant today. Like we mentioned, they got some rain. From the road, it looked kind of tacky. It's not as bad. Of course, there's moisture underneath. A little bit different soil than us, and of course, it's bare soil. This is was obviously a cornfield last year. A little bit of tillage done on this farm compared to you know, what we do. We no-till, and he was talking about planting corn into it. They got corn on corn for cattle. A little bit of corn on corn. This is our first year trying it out full scale, but we are pretty much corn soybean rotation no matter what. I was wrong. They are planting beans to this, but you guys do a fair amount of corn on corn, don't you?
Yeah. So I would say anything that's
Bald eagle.
God bless America.
That's pretty cool.
We got a lot of them up here.
More aggressive tillage than what we're used to with the no-till. But obviously you guys probably do a bit of corn on corn with cattle operation, just so you have the feed for that.
Yeah, so right now we're pretty far away from the home site. Where we plant a lot of the corn on corn is our high fertility ground, and our high fertility ground is going to be right up by the farm sites, obviously because we're hauling manure out to them quite often. So this is going to be beans up here. It's part of the rotation. But yeah, as you get closer to home, there's quite a few corn on corn fields. You can see that this is really black, and Garrett made a comment about that being pretty aggressive tillage up here. We actually took all the stalks off this last year for bedding. So that's the first time the stock's been taken off this field in many years, and we did it because we needed a little extra bedding, and that's why it looks so black. Usually our corn ground isn't this aggressively black, but there's just not a lot of trash out here.
Yeah.
That's our little manure spreader. We got our big manure spreader that's a side slinger, and that's not hooked up because that tractor is obviously being used for tillage right now. So we got this little manure spreader that we use kind of as a little clean out pad.
Bit different from our hog manure where it just sits in a pit. They've got to scoop out their manure. Everyone's having breakfast over here. Hell yeah.
I told him that earlier. He did a video over at Mike.
Bless you. For the last quick thing of the day, we're gonna go bed some cattle. Got bale processor out on a, oh, is that a, don't even know what international that is, but I'm the gate guy for him. That's why we're doing this. 826 Farmall. Interesting. Inneker cab. Already loving it. Quite a thing. Well, I think that's gonna wrap us up. We're just walking through. He's kind of showing me the lay of the land, the rest of the place in here. They got a cattle shed here. You got all kinds of good cows looking out here right now. But as always, appreciate you guys watching. This was kind of a detour video, but we're not gonna quit our trend just because we're not home and on the farm. We're gonna do our Bible verse for the video, and I'm gonna have Ryan share one.
Yeah, so I guess the Bible verse that I want to leave you guys with is 1 Corinthians 10:13. It states, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind, but God has..."
All right, so obviously cut out there. My battery died. I didn't have a backup, but filling in where he left off, and I'm going to do the best I can to regurgitate what it means to him. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. It is, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so you can endure it." He explains it as take the word temptation and replace it with struggle. So no struggle has overtaken me, what is common to mankind. And that just means that even though we're all going to struggle, God's always going to be there for us. He's never going to give us more than we can bear. God's going to provide you a way to learn from your past mistakes through your struggle and temptation. Even though you're totally at your breaking point, you can't go on any further, you had enough, God's going to give you that extra push, that extra inch you need to get where you need to go. If you let Him open your eyes, He's going to lead you to what's right and why you struggled through what you did. The whole point is God's going to give you a way out if you open your eyes and you let Him in. So, hope I did that justice, Ryan, there. That's going to wrap us up here, everybody. Ryan Vos at Vos Cattle. I'm going to link his Instagram and TikTok in the bio below, so you guys can check him out, and I'd appreciate, and he sure would appreciate if you checked him out. But we're going to be off the farm for next video again, doing some similar content with some row crops. So catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.